Welcome back to another video. My name is Gordon Frayne and we are back with another weekly market update. It's been a very interesting week. Lots of stuff going on with Bitcoin. We've seen some issues with Solana and some small growth in the overall market. As always, before we jump into the topic, please make sure to smash the like button below if you enjoy the content. Hit that subscribe button as well. We're on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers. It would mean the world if you subscribed, and hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified every time we drop a new video. We are dropping multiple videos every single week, pretty much a video every single day, and you're going to want to get notified so you can stay up to date with all the latest movements in the rapidly evolving crypto space. So it has been another very busy week in terms of market updates and market movement. As we can see, Bitcoin is currently sitting at a price of 69,343. We've kind of been hovering between 69K and 71K for the past 2 to 3 days. We've been kind of oscillating between those areas in terms of Bitcoin price, and it'll be interesting to see if we break out of that to the upside with the halving coming up in less than 10 days time. Ethereum currently sitting at 3,440. We've then got Solana, which is down about 5% on the week. A lot of network issues with Solana earlier in the week and last weekend. So I think the price is seeing a little bit of a dip. Given all of those issues, BNB has claimed its fourth position with a $91 billion market cap versus $74 billion for Solana. Solana was ahead of it last week, but we've seen that flip happen again as they battle it out for the third largest cryptocurrency. Overall market cap is up on the week ever so slightly. Last week, 7 days ago, we were sitting about 2.53 trillion US dollar market cap. Today we're sitting at about 2.58, so up ever so slightly on the week in terms of overall market cap. Fear and greed index, we're currently sitting at a 79 as well, so we're up pretty high, but the ETF inflows continue to push so much capital into this space, and again, hard to know how accurate the fear and greed index is as we begin to see huge amounts of consistent capital coming in with the ETF flows. As we said, the Bitcoin halving is just 9 days away, estimated to take place on April 22nd. Obviously today is April 12th, so just under 10 days out from the Bitcoin halving. This is a moving target, so we're probably going to see this happen someday between April 20th and 24th at this point. The countdown is very much on, and we are seeing lots of accumulation happening with Bitcoin price in the lead-in to the halving. Looking at some of the biggest gainers and losers over the past 7 days, we've seen some of the smaller cap cryptos making some of the bigger gains over the past 7 days. We've got some outliers like Nervous Network. Toncoin itself is up about 30%, VeChain up 16%, Ordi up 15%. There's been some news about ordinals and runes in the past week or so, which is probably aiding that. EOS up 11%, Doge up 9%, BNB up about 5%, Ethereum itself up 3.5%. So some of the smaller cap coins are making moves, but we can see in terms of top losers, there is more red than green over the past week or so. On the whole, Wormhole is down 27%. This did just launch their own token about 7 to 10 days ago. We are down about 27% on the week after that. Uniswap down about 18%. News coming out this week that Uniswap have been served a Wells notice by the SEC. It'll be interesting to see if that materializes and if anything happens there in terms of the SEC bringing Uniswap to court. We've got Maker down 13%, Sui down 12%, Celestia Jupiter down 12%, ICP down 12%, Pyth down 11%. So Immutable X down 10%. Some of the AI coins like Fetch down 9% as well. Near Protocol down 8%. So more red than green on the whole here in terms of the top 100 cryptocurrencies and their performance over the past 7 days. So, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to improve over the past week or so. As we said, we're going to refresh the page here. We can see Bitcoin dominance is currently sitting at about 54.77%. It is up again on the week. So it continues to rise here. And if we do zoom out a bit as well, we can see that Bitcoin dominance has been on a pretty consistent uptrend here for the past year or so, pretty much. As we zoom out on the chart, a lot of upwards movement since the end of last year as well, given the anticipation of the ETF. And then with the continuous inflow of capital from the ETF, we're continuing to see Bitcoin dominance continue to rise. We do have a bit of resistance here around the 55% mark. However, if we do break that, we will probably see Bitcoin dominance continue for another few months before we hit a really powerful altcoin season. And speaking of altcoin season, we move over to the altcoin season index. We can see that it is a Bitcoin month at a score of 29 rather than an altcoin month. And again, that aligns with the fact that we're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to increase over the past few months. As we scroll down, again, what we're looking at here is the top 50 cryptocurrencies and their performance over the past month. So the past 30 days versus the 7 days we were looking at here. As we can see, over the past 30 days, we do have a lot more red than green here in terms of altcoin performance. Bitcoin itself is down just 1.4% on the month. We've obviously got a lot of other cryptos here in the red, down 35% for Uniswap, Injective down 34%, IMX down 26%, Cardano down 23%, Atom down 21%. We've got Tron down 5%. So Bitcoin actually performing pretty well versus the rest of the altcoins, as we can see. And then some of the big winners over the past month, again, we're seeing the meme coins like Doge and WIF outperforming the rest of the market, up 17 and 22% respectively over the past month. ICP not too bad, up 8.8%. Solana still up 5.4% on the month, and BNB up about 2.5% on the month as well. Speaking of meme coins and other narratives, it's always important to keep an eye on the different narratives that are performing. We're looking at the narrative performance month to date here for April. There's been a good bit of news around ordinals and runes over the past week or so, and that popularity is being reflected here with the narrative sentiment around ordinals. We've got account abstractions performing well, liquid staking derivatives, DeFi 2.0, NFTs a little bit as well. On the whole, we can see that ordinals are taking most of the mind share in terms of April thus far. DEXs are down 20% in terms of narrative performance. Identity down 18%, GameFi down 17%. So again, it'll be interesting to see how the narratives play out for the rest of April. However, it's always worth keeping an eye on these narratives and which ones are performing well, and thinking about the assets that you hold as part of your portfolio and which narratives they fall into. We've done other videos on the channel where you can see narrative performance and how certain narratives will have their own mini cycles within the bull cycle itself. So always worth keeping an eye on that. Moving on to the Bitcoin ETF tracker. Again, we are seeing consistent inflows with the 9 new US spot Bitcoin ETFs. We are seeing numbers now in excess of 269,000 for BlackRock alone. With the amount of capital that Grayscale are selling off, we are going to see BlackRock flip Grayscale probably sometime in the next couple of weeks in terms of overall BTC held as part of the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Spot ETF. The Grayscale numbers are continuing to drop, and we're seeing continuous dumpage from Grayscale. We did see big outflows from Grayscale earlier in the week on Monday, and this number, just as a reminder, before the other 9 spot ETFs went live, was over 600,000. So we're continuing to see Grayscale bleed, mainly because of the fact that their fees are so high versus the rest of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and the 9 other ETFs continue to hoover up any sell-offs from Grayscale as we move through each trading day. So BlackRock obviously in the lead, Fidelity in second place with over 151,000 Bitcoin held by them. We've got ARK shares, ARK 21 shares, and Bitwise kind of in the middle of the table here with 43k and 33k respectively. And then towards the bottom, we've got VanEck, Valkyrie, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, WisdomTree, and Hashdex. So what we can see here, if we visualize this ETF growth over the past couple of months, I think we're about 62 trading days into the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We are now at a total of about 527,000 Bitcoin, over 500,000 Bitcoin, half a million individual Bitcoin that have been accumulated by the 9 new ETFs, excluding Grayscale, since January 10th, when the spot Bitcoin ETFs went live. So a huge amount of Bitcoin having been accumulated. We will have an end of month update for the spot ETFs in the next few days, so keep an eye on the channel for that. And then finally, looking at the cycle low multiple, again, as we approach the halving date here, what we're seeing represented on this chart is the performance of Bitcoin in the lead up to and aftermath of all of the 3 previous Bitcoin halvings. So in the blue, we've got era 1, or the cycle of the 2012 Bitcoin halving. In orange, we've got cycle 2, or the aftermath of the 2016 halving. And in green, we've got the third era, or the aftermath of the 2020 halving. And then over here in red, you can see that we are approaching day 0 here on this chart, which is the day of the Bitcoin halving. And very clearly we can see that there has been parabolic price movements for Bitcoin in the aftermath of all of the 3 previous halvings. Of course, this time is slightly different because we did put in new all-time highs in terms of price for Bitcoin before the Bitcoin halving event for the very first time ever. So as we approach day 0 here with the halving in 9 days, we will expect to see Bitcoin making moves to the upside over the preceding 12 to 18 months and putting in higher and higher prices if history is anything to go by. As always, this is not financial advice, but it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. And if we continue to see diminishing returns this cycle, or if the ETFs and the amount of capital flowing in from institutional money can outweigh those diminishing returns, and we could see a cycle more similar to 2016 or possibly even 2012. So that is the weekly Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market update. As always, drop us a comment below on what your thoughts are at this moment in time. We are only 10 days out from the Bitcoin halving, a seminal event in the Bitcoin calendar, and traditionally we've seen new all-time highs for Bitcoin and parabolic price moves in the 12 to 18 months after the halving. So things are starting to heat up, and we are in for a very interesting 12 to 18 months. As always, please drop a thumbs up on the video below on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world if you subscribed, and hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified every time we drop a new video. We've got pretty much a video every single day dropping on the channel. You're going to want to stay in the loop on this rapidly evolving landscape. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.